I don't get to meet chief strategy officers too often, and since I'm meeting you, this is like a golden opportunity. Tell us straight off the bat, how has the relationship between a consumer and a marketer changed in these times?
Well, in one sense, it hasn't changed at all. I mean, people still love brands. They still want brands in their life. They still need brands to help them, assist them, and to empower them to do new things and to occupy themselves in new and exciting ways. We see that from our most recent study. People are desperate for brands to sort of play a role in enhancing their quality of life. What we think has changed quite significantly is how brands can connect with both the head and the heart of those consumers. That journey has become far, far more complicated. More channels, more segmentation, more fragmentation in terms of the audiences, multiple methods and means. So the choices that I think CMOs now need to make, and brand owners and marketeers, is far, far more complex. I think there is a huge amount of choice, decisions that people need to make now, and they need more and better advice and better data. So in some senses, it hasn't changed at all, but in other senses, it's increasingly more complex. And I think our role as agencies is to try and help and assist our clients to do the right things at the right time.
The role of strategy in today's times and in today's agency setup, and how has it changed?
Strategy is a very broad church. I mean, strategy used to be sitting either in a research function, sort of learning about the customer, or sitting next to the creatives and trying to interpret what their findings and trying to inspire them. I think now strategy sits across both research and insight. It talks about sort of data-driven analytics. We look at measurement frameworks. We look at AI and the role of AI in markets now. We're starting to really try and understand all the different aspects where strategy can actually play a role. We look at upstream sort of headroom analysis. So what we're seeing is strategy broadening its territory and its reach and its remit for clients, and actually start to really sort of actually tie all of those component parts together. When we started our conversation, we talked about complexity. One of the key roles of strategy is to try and simplify that customer journey and try and really think, in our view, about being more life-shaped so that we can start to sort of bring the right and most appropriate connection points to life in the most meaningful way possible. So that's a really important part of strategy's job, to try and synthesize all of the information that we find and understand and try and put it in a very simple package for consumers to understand.
It was also considered as consumers' voice at the table, so that continues, right?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I mean, that's where it starts. The essence of strategy really is always about what is the consumer's perspective on a brand. What we also look at is what we call the meaningful difference. So one of the things that we uniquely look for is the differences between audiences that love your brand and audiences that don't, between segments that engage with you and segments that don't. And what we're trying to find out is why that is happening. What are the dynamics around specific audiences, or specific segments, or specific people, and how we can sort of draw conclusions from that.